Good morning, class! Welcome to week 5 of our subject, Reading and Writing Skills. I am Ma'am Annalisa Ojas, your teacher for today.
What comes to your mind when you hear critical reading? You might think of asking questions. Some say reasoning. Others may think of analyzing, evaluating, or you may think of interpreting. Well, you are correct. These words tell something about critical reading. Remember, critical reading is engaging in analytic activity which involves the reader by asking questions about the text and the author's claim. Critical readers are doing the process of evaluating, analyzing, and interpreting the assertion of the hidden meaning of the entire text. In the previous module, you learned about critical reading as a form of reasoning. This time, you will understand how critical reading and thinking skills would help you grasp the essence of a text or text and check for possible fallacies in the argument or arguments presented in a reading material.
Remember that critical reading is not meant to criticize, but to assess the validity of textual evidence.
Now, let me give you our objectives for today's session. In this lesson, you are expected to identify types of assertions, formulate assertions and evaluative statements, and write evaluative statements and an evaluation about the content and properties of a written text. Before we proceed with our lesson, let's play a game first. It's called Find the Lie. What are you going to do? You're going to find the word or the statement that tells us a lie. Or you're going to choose a letter of a word or a statement that is not correct. Now, are you ready? Well, I guess you are. Number 1. These words describe an evaluative statement. A. Obscure. B. Substantial. C. Fair. You choose the letter of a word that tells us a lie. If you answered A. Obscure, you're quite right. A is a lie because obscure does not describe an evaluative statement. Let's proceed to number 2. A. An evaluative statement is a statement that states one sound judgment. B. An evaluative statement presents the strengths and weaknesses of something based on your own opinion. C. An evaluative statement must be supported by reasons and evidences. You choose the letter of a statement that is not correct. If you answered B, you're dead right. B is a lie because an evaluative statement presents the strengths and weaknesses of something based on a set of criteria. Number 3. These are the different types of assertion. A. Fact. B. Convention. C. Counterclaim. Again, you choose the letter that tells us a lie. If you said it's letter C, counterclaim, absolutely correct. Counterclaim is not a type of assertion. Number 4. These are examples of a fact. Letter A. The capital of the Philippines is Manila. Letter B. The cake tastes delicious. Or letter C, people use their legs to walk. You choose the letter of a statement that tells us a lie. If you said it's letter B, you've hit the nail on the head. B is a lie because it is an example of opinion. Now let's proceed to the last number, number 5. The following are examples of opinion. Letter A, some people keep dogs as pets. Letter B, the movie was boring. Or letter C, he is childish. Again, you choose the letter of a statement that tells us a lie. You chose letter A, you could say so. A is a lie because it is an example of a fact. Congratulations! You did a great job. I guess you are now ready for today's lesson.
Supposing your parents give you an option of the gift you want to receive on your graduation day. This is for you to be motivated to maintain your academic standing in your class. Here are the choices. From the given choices, which will you choose and why?
For me, I will choose the shopping spree because I'm into fashionable clothes and I will go shopping and buy a lot of clothes that I will like.
I would choose a plane ticket because I haven't been in any foreign country yet, so I think this is my chance to visit a foreign country.
I will choose the money because with money, I can buy the things that I really want or I can put this into my savings to be used in the future.
If you are your parents, what do you think would they tell you after knowing your choice? List down the possible statements you may hear from them. I'm giving you time to list them down. So what did you choose? And how did you choose your preferred graduation gift? For sure, you have your own basis and considerations for your own choice. You may have evaluated each option for you to come with the best one. At the same time, you may have considered your needs and interests as well as the usefulness and the value of each offer. So how is it related to our lesson? Well, when you are evaluating any reading text, the same rule applies. You also need to consider your basis as evidence in order to validate or verify your assertions or claim about what you read. For the second question, the statements that you have listed down are examples of evaluative statements. The statements that your parents may have given you express their assessment about the choice you made. Based on the given examples or the given statements, now, how do you define an evaluative statement?
An evaluative statement is a statement that states one sound judgment about something through writing which is supported by reasons and evidences. It also presents the strengths and weaknesses of something based on a set of criteria which needs to be factual, substantial, and unbiased.
Take note, an evaluative statement is a statement that expresses your sound judgment. Sound judgment means it should be supported by reasons and evidences. There should also be strengths and weaknesses that are based on facts, must be fair, and essential. The question is, how are you going to formulate an evaluative statement? It's very simple.
formulate an evaluative statement, one needs to read the entire text carefully and critically to understand and to check for possible fallacies in the argument presented by the writer. Just like any other writing, the formulation of the evaluative statement is done in the same way, except that the statement is about your own judgment of the text's content and properties.
Here are the pointers that you need to remember in forming an evaluative statement.
1. Begin with the positives before you point out the negatives.
Remember that your evaluative statement should be factual, substantial, and unbiased. When giving your negative feedback, it should not sound insulting on the part of the evaluatee.
2. Suggest a solution or solutions or suggestions on how to improve the written material being evaluated and provide justification how these will work.
Your suggestion or solution is very important to help the evaluatee improve his or her work. Remember to give reasons why such solution is given.
3. Keep your feedback concise and precise.
Don't forget to give first the positive feedback before giving the negative one. Make it short and direct to the point.
And number 4, be careful in giving your feedback.
Since evaluations pass judgment onto works of authors, they must be written and expressed with care and much diligence.
Here is the example. Situation. A student was tasked to compose a poem that would express his thoughts and feelings about various events around him. After a while, he submitted it to his teacher before the set deadline. As the teacher evaluated his output, she was impressed about the way the student wrote his concrete poem using the shape of a dove as the poem structure to help the readers to easily understand the meaning of his writing. Surprisingly, he chose a theme about the 2019 coronavirus disease that gives hope to the readers who may be affected by the pandemic. In addition to this, a good physical and grammatical arrangement of words were evidently shown. Figurative language and imagery were also used. However, the teacher found out that the poem was written in forced rhyme that may have caused him to use inappropriate words. Since the teacher wanted to improve the writing skill of the student, she then suggested to consider the use of appropriate language over rhyme to better connect with the audience. Here is the evaluation of the teacher. Number 1. You, referring to the writer, composed an impressive poem. It has a good physical and grammatical arrangement of words that enhanced the reader's overall experience. Another good thing is that your chosen theme is very timely, that gives hope to the readers in this time of pandemic. When it comes to the elements of poetry, you used figurative language and imagery that added spice to the overall quality of your composition. These literary devices stir up and startle the reader's imagination. Furthermore, the choice of writing a concrete poetry with a dove as the shape of the poem structure contributes a lot in understanding the meaning of the poem.
The evaluation begins with an evaluative statement that says, "You composed an impressive poem." It is followed by giving a positive feedback to the writer, specifying the strengths of the poem.
Number 2. However, the rhyme of your writing is forced. It seems that the words were chosen for the sake of having a rhyming effect that somehow affect the emotional connection between the reader and the poem itself.
In the second paragraph, the evaluator mentioned about the weaknesses she saw in the writing.
Number 3. To improve your work, you should be careful in choosing the appropriate words to be used to best express the meaning and emotions you would like the readers to understand and feel. It should be considered over the rhyme of the poem. Remember, a poem may or may not have a rhyme, but if you choose to have one, the meaning and the emotional appeal of the poem should not be compromised. In this way, you can have a good connection with the readers and would therefore make them appreciate your poem more.
Finally, a suggestion was given to the writer at the third paragraph for the improvement of the poem. A good critical reader does not only understand the meaning of a reading material, but also logically evaluates whether the claims of the writer are true or false. They are called assertions. Assertions are a primary way for the readers to consider and possibly agree with the claims presented by the writer in an expository writing.
Assertions are declarative sentences that give one's belief about something else as if it is true, though it may not be. It is expressed as an argument.
Remember, assertions may be true or may not be true. Again, assertion is your own belief about something. The adjectives that are usually used in making assertions are useful, significant, important, insightful, detailed, up-to-date, comprehensive, practical, impressive, etc.
For example, you are asked to answer the question, do you believe education should continue regardless of the situation we are facing right now? And you would give your opinion or argument about it. Afterwards, you would make an assertion whether you agree or disagree with the issue. Thus, take a stand and support it with your reason or reasons.
There are 4 types of assertion which are classified according to the degree of certainty. They can be judged as true or false.
The 4 types of assertions are fact, convention, opinion, and preference. Let's talk about first fact. A fact is a statement that can be proven objectively with direct experience, testimonies of witnesses, verified observations, or the results of research.
Fact is a statement that can be proven true or can be proven objectively by measurements.
For example, according to experts, seawater contains high amounts of minerals such as sodium, chloride, sulfate, magnesium, and calcium.
That is classified as a fact, since the mineral contents of seawater can be tested and proven through experiments and researches.
Convention is a way in which something is done similar to traditions and norms. Its truthfulness can be verified only by reference to historical precedents, laws, rules, usage, and customs.
Something to note about conventions is that they may sound factual due to their being derived from customs, but because they are socially accepted ways of doing something, they cannot be verified objectively by measurements. Again, conventions cannot be proven true by measurements.
For example, seawater is classified as a heterogeneous and homogeneous mixture.
It is a convention because the classification of seawater is based on the classification system made by scientists and is acceptable to the scientific community.
Opinion. It is a statement based on facts but is difficult to objectively verify because of the uncertainty of producing satisfactory proofs of soundness.
Opinions result from ambiguities. The more ambiguous a statement, the more difficult it is to verify. Thus, they are open to disputes. Remember, opinions are still based on facts, but hard to prove if it is true or not. So, it is usually a good topic for a debate.
For example, swimming in seawater is the best activity to refresh and relax your mind, body, and soul.
That is an opinion, since the claim is difficult to prove. The truthfulness of the claim may be true to some, but not to others.
4. Preference. It states a personal choice in which the writer is under no obligation to support or prove the truthfulness of the statement.
They are subjective and cannot be objectively proven or logically attacked. In other words, preferences need not to be proven and are not open to disputes. They are not debatable. They are your own choice or belief.
For example, I love to make frequent trips to places with seawater than those without it.
It is an example of preference because it expresses the personal choice of the writer to places with seawater over those places without it. That is all for today, class, and I hope you have learned a lot about an evaluative statement and how to formulate it, as well as assertion and its types. There are exercises that you need to answer. Please refer to our weekly home learning plan or the WHLP for you to know the exercises that you are going to answer. These exercises will help you learn our lesson very well. Happy learning! Again, this is Ma'am Annalisa Ojas saying, have a good day!